Friends with brews.
Happy Friday, Friends with Brews people. Today I'm going to review another Trailhead coffee. This is called Provisions. It's got a cute little dog who's bringing your provisions to you, presumably. And it's got berries and dark chocolate, and the dog says, "Let's go!" All right, dog, let's go. Trailhead they tell you how to make your coffee, which is kind of cool. It says our favorite brew recipe: 20 grams coffee, ground semi-fine, 95 C hot water, 300 C water total, and first pour 40 grams, wait 45 seconds, second pour 130 to 170 grams additional, wait 60 seconds, and then final pour, so they do 3 pulls instead of 4 or 5 like some. Final pour is another 130 to 300 grams. Oh, I see. They're telling you what the total will be. So they're adding 130 grams each time. So at first you have 40 grams, you wait 45 seconds, you do 130 more grams, which brings you to 170, then you wait 60 seconds, and then you do the final pour of an additional 130 grams, which brings you up to 300 grams. Got it. Okay. And it says this bag will brew 15 cups, which I have not been keeping track of. I, though, don't get 15 cups, I'm sure, because I usually go slightly over 20. I usually go for 20, and then I add another, like, 1 or something to make up for losses in the grinder. And I know that sounds silly, but you haven't met our grinder. Peter and I have the fellow Opus grinders. Sorry, I had to go look at it. The fellow Opus grinders, and they tend to eat some of the dust the grind's going through, as Peter knows, because it takes a lot of cleaning. All right, that's grinding, as always. And by the way, here's something else that Peter got me into: is the fellow Prismo. I believe it's called the Prismo. Anyway, it's basically a cap that seals, and it won't let any of the water leak through until you're ready. And you push on it, and it's got this lovely metal filter that goes in there as well. I like the fact that it has a rubber ring around it, so that it means that the bottom of the glass AeroPress that I'm using does not get destroyed by it. Because even though AeroPress says that their metal filter is compatible with this AeroPress, I found that it damaged one of mine. And that's a very, very expensive thing to find out. Because these AeroPress Premiums or Ultras or whatever they are $200. You guys, $200 for some glass and metal. Now, one thing about it, though, with the Prismo is the way I'm used to doing it is pouring a little bit of water into the AeroPress to get things warmed up and cleaned out, and having that drip through, and then it would do the same to the bottom of the cup. But now I have to manually do the bottom of the cup. Usually what I remember to do is just pour from here into there and then do it, but I forgot this time. And here are my grinds. Oh, I can smell the berries. You really can. Yeah, it does have a chocolatey berry smell. It really does. That I find highly enjoyable for people that aren't offended by chocolate and berries in their coffee, which I'm not offended by that at all. And then I think I've mentioned before, I kind of spin this around in a circle, getting all the grounds off the edge that landed there when I dumped it in. I think at this stage, most people let this sit and bloom longer than I do before I stir it. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm talking about with the AeroPress method. I go ahead and stir it fairly quickly after pouring the water in. You'll see that's a lot of water, but I also have a giant cup, because I think that the only way to drink coffee is to drink too much coffee. Now the Prismo, this is interesting because I noticed Peter has to push quite hard with this, but with the AeroPress Premium and the Prismo combination, I find that it actually pushes through very easily. Now this is a brand new Prismo. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it definitely pushes through fairly rapidly and fairly easily, which I like. I'm all about the fairly rapidly and the fairly easily. One thing funny about the Prismo, though, that I found, if you keep it where you stopped giving it pressure, so it's actually maintaining a tiny bit of pressure on it, it will start squirting out the bunghole of the Prismo if you're not careful. So you got to back it off just a little before you start carrying it around. I likened it to a little baby boy when you take the diaper off and he's on the changing table and he feels the freedom and all of a sudden he starts peeing up into the air. That's exactly what the Prismo does. I literally stood here one day in the kitchen with the Prismo going, whoo! It's great. All right, I'll clean that stuff later, because you're not here for Scott Does Dishes. You should be here for Scott Does Dishes. By the way, I am a good dish doer. I'm probably the only person that knows how to do the dishes correctly around here. And that's not to denigrate my loved ones, because they are indeed my loved ones. Okay, let's have a taste. That is a good coffee. I do taste the chocolate and the berries. I still smell them. I like this coffee. It's just good for a nice cloudy morning. It's cloudy out today. It'll be warm later. It's been that way lately. It's been cloudy in the mornings and then warming up at night. And this is a good coffee for a day like that. This is a fully caffeinated cup of coffee. This is my second cup of the day. This will be my last caffeinated cup for the day, but I was just looking at the time. But it's delightful and I love it and I'm super happy. Okay, bye. Go away. I want to drink my coffee in peace.